Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday again. It's good to be back. Our Tuesday talk, the HER, Health Empowerment Reset. Before we begin, as always, our disclaimer is that any information we provide today or any other topics in the future, it is just for information only. It is not a prescription. We're not recommending any medical options of anything. So we have an amazing topic today that we'll be talking in a few minutes, but I want to introduce myself. My name is Martha King. I'm a certified health coach here in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
I'm Dr. Duarte Ray, and I'm a gut health specialist here in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
And I'm Asha Scatchard. I'm a certified Brennan Healing Science practitioner, and I also consider myself an energy life coach. And my practice is in York, Pennsylvania.
Hi, and I'm Joni Rampolla. I'm a registered licensed dietitian and the regional nutritionist with the Giant Company. And the Giant Company is Giant Food Stores and Martin's Food Markets.
Excellent. So our topic today is about the Mediterranean diet. And Johnny's going to just give us all the benefits about this amazing way of eating. People think about diet, it's always very label and very negative. But when it comes to this special diet of Mediterranean eating, it's a way of living. It's just an amazing benefits. And we're going to learn so much from Joni. She's going to give us an overview about what can we incorporate in our lives to improve the way we eat and the other benefits from it. So, Joni, you got the floor.
Great, thank you. I'm going to share my screen if you'll bear with me for a second. And just make that full. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm Joni Rampolla with the Giant Company, and today we're going to talk about the Mediterranean diet. And one of the reasons I love about it is it's very anti-inflammatory. And a lot of diseases happen due to the inflammatory process. In 1 second, I'm going to just move our faces. Okay, so the Mediterranean diet, like Martha said, it's not really a diet. It's an overall way of being with your food. It's a lifestyle pattern rather than a specific eating pattern. It comes from the region surrounding the Mediterranean Sea, hence the name. You can enjoy it with delicious, fresh, affordable foods right from your grocery store. You don't have to buy anything special or different. It's high in plant-based foods. So because of that, it has the fiber and nutrition from whole, unprocessed, locally grown foods. It tends to be low in sugar, low in trans fat, and also low in the highly processed meats and foods. It does include wine and social communal eating, which is one of the points that people love about it. So the Mediterranean diet, it's mostly plant-based foods. So what is plant-based? It's your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, your legumes and beans, your nuts and seeds. And generally it's 5 to 9 servings, which can be like 5 cups, or what we call a serving is a half a cup of fruit or vegetable, or 1 cup of a leafy green would be a serving of combined fruits and vegetables together. So there's no butter like we typically use. They replace that with healthier fats, which is olive oil and avocado. Includes a lot of fresh herbs and spices, and there's actually a lot of nutritional benefits from eating herbs and spices, and they don't really salt foods as much as we do. They eat fish or seafood twice a week, and they limit red meat. And what I'm calling red meat, since a lot of people aren't sure what that term actually means, is your beef, your lamb, and your pork. So we think of pork as the other white meat because they do a great marketing campaign, but it's actually a red meat. So this is the Mediterranean diet pyramid. And to me, you can sum it up all right here. So I just want to talk through some of the main points. The base of the pyramid is every day to be physically active and do things with people. Again, like I said, it's a way of living and being. And having meals with others is really key because ton of research showing when you eat with people and you talk and share, your digestion is so much better. So the way that they digest the food happens to work better for their lifestyle as well, which is disease preventative. The base of the pyramid with food is basically your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, your olive oil and avocado is your healthy fat, your beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, fresh herbs, and spices. So those are the main things that your diet would consist of. There's also fish eaten twice a week. Pretty much every day they have some form of dairy, usually in cheese, but also in yogurt. But it's not the way we eat dairy. Like we drink cups of it or we'll have bowls of it, and they just have little bits as a side flavor, even though it is a daily item. And then poultry and eggs also, they have them all weekly, but not every day like we do. And then less often is the sweet and the red meat. So it's not that they don't eat sweets, they do, but they save them for special occasions. So a birthday, an anniversary, a first date, something special would be a reason to have a sweet, not like us where, you know, I have one after lunch, I have one before dinner, I have one after dinner, I have a sweet as a nighttime snack. Like we load up on sweets. So that to me is a key difference. So when I look at going to the grocery store to eat Mediterranean, I think about the 80-20 rule. So if 80% of the things I put in my cart are things that are the base of the pyramid, so my fruits, my vegetables, my whole grains, my olive oil, my nuts, my seeds. So whole grains can even be your pasta, your rice, your quinoa, your barley, all that would go in there. So if 80% of your cart is filled with that, that saves 20% for other things, which could include, you know, your eggs, your cheese, your yogurt. They still could be healthy, that 20%, or it could be your sweet, however you want to do it. I just want to make you aware that our stores do have the Guiding Stars program, which is our nutritional navigation program that can help you find foods that are better for you. So all foods are put into this computerized algorithm. If it gets 1 star, it's a good for you food, 2 stars, better, and 3 stars, best nutritional value. And that guiding star is on the right of the price tag or of the price. You'll see a little yellow star there, and that's our system. So I'm going to just stop and see if anybody has any questions for me or things that you want to know about the Mediterranean diet.
I wanted to, I like one thing that they emphasize the biggest, it's being around with people. Just keeping that connection and, you know, not just, you know, just, you know, talk about primary food and secondary food. So primary is just having that, being connected with people, you know, being eating with people, dancing with people, doing things with people. And the secondary will be the food part. So I always liked about that, the concept. And the 80-20 rule, that is, I like that a lot. And I also use that for, if someone's doing a sort of specific way of eating, and when you strict yourself to 100%, that can be room for a lot of, you know, people feeling very stressed, very pressured. But when you leave that 20 space, the 20%, that could be for anything else that maybe you might be craving something, and then allow yourself to eat that and not feel defeated, not feel guilty or shame. So I like that, the rule, and then I see that it's used in here just the way, you know, simplify and balance in the way how you eat.
Absolutely.
Joni,
Yes.
what about the importance of 3 meals a day? Or maybe just 2?
So there's research that goes both ways. And what I mean by both ways, meaning 3 meals a day or not 3 meals a day. So in the research, depending on what your goal is, so some people use Mediterranean diet just to be healthier, to lose weight, to control diabetes, to help with heart health. Like there are lots of benefits to Mediterranean diet, and the number of meals you eat, to me, can be what bucket you're in, like what's your goal you're trying to achieve. But in the research, anywhere between 3, 4, 5, 6 meals a day all works. It depends what kind of eater you are. So I usually say stay more to 3 times a day if you're someone where I open the window to eating and I can't shut it again. Like once I start, I can't stop. Then 3 meals a day is right for you. Someone that's not worried about weight, it doesn't really matter, in all honesty, how much you eat, because you control your cravings and what you do. But for most of us, staying between that 3 meals a day or 6 smaller meals a day or feeding times a day, they all work.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Let's see what else.
Hi, Joni. Can you hear us, Joni?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to continue? Okay, I didn't know if time was up or where we were. I can go through more specific in the Mediterranean diet if you choose. So actions to eat more Mediterranean. One is just eat more vegetables. So this is a picture of a vegetable burger, a vegetable pizza, or just my vegetable skewer plate. So, you know, people think, how do I put that into foods that are delicious? And this is just a way to show that it can be. And then change the way you think about meat. So we tend to think of meat as the center of our plate. Our meals revolve around meat. You can enjoy small amounts as a condiment or a complement to your vegetables. So whether it's a soup or a beef stew where, you know, it's mostly vegetables, a little bit of meat, a stir fry, again, mostly vegetables, a little bit of meat, or a fajita, just a different way to think about your meat. Enjoy that daily serving of yogurt or cheese, but keeping it small. Again, it's not the center of my plate. I'm not eating a block of cheese, but I'm adding some cheese or yogurt as a dip or a spread or just a sprinkle on top of a meal. And then include whole grains. So this is a picture of my breakfast oatmeal with, at all meals, I'm trying to add more fruits and vegetables with some fruits, or a stuffed mushroom cap with that whole grain rice, or a whole grain pasta dish, or whole wheat bread that has hummus and vegetables and olives and avocado on it. So different ways you can get your whole grains. And then look at the fat that you're eating. Try and change the fat from, you know, the butter and the fried foods and things that you may choose as fat to an extra virgin olive oil that can be used for a lot of things. And up to 35%, and even in some Mediterranean areas, they do up to 40% of the diet can be fat. But the Heart Association says up to 35% of the diet can be fat, which is 77 grams. And that does help keep you full and prevents from eating other things. Seafood has that omega-3 fatty acids. And again, it could be like a salmon that is the center of your plate, or it doesn't have to be. It could be, you know, a fish taco or a paella or pasta that has some seafood included in it. And then dessert, instead of the sweets that we typically eat, you can choose fresh fruit. So whether it's just plain fresh fruit or a fruit salad or a kebab, or this is a picture of a watermelon pizza that has a little bit of yogurt and fruit and spices on it, whether it's mint or basil. And then, as Martha said, just to live actively, look for ways to be more active and together. Find things that you like to do with people. And this could be your table or anybody's table. Bring people around your table for a meal. It helps with digestion as well as gives you an outlet to talk about your day. And that is my summary of the Mediterranean diet. Thank you.
That was great. Back to the one I was saying earlier about being with people. That's one of my pillars, you know, with 5 pillars health coaching, is the connection. You know, people can have the money to go to the groceries and get food and go, be sleeping well. But if they're lonely, they're by themselves, they don't have a support solid system, connected with humans. That's a huge imbalance in there. So, when you have that love and that energy and that support from humans, from individuals, you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to be motivated to do other things, than just thinking outside of taking care of yourself. Yeah. Does anyone else have anything to bring up?
Also about connection, how important animals are. If you don't have people in your life on a constant basis, animals are a great support.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Lynn, do you have anything?
I was going to say, I just wanted to say I love the Mediterranean diet. I typically lean more towards the Mediterranean diet because I am a gluten-free vegetarian. So the Mediterranean diet helps me fill in gaps in my diet where if I didn't eat, more fruits and vegetables, I would really have a hard time getting in my nutrients and actually eating. So I've been a vegetarian for a very long time. The gluten sensitivity is new. That's been within the last year. So it's been hard to adjust, but it's really going to the Mediterranean type foods in the store and stuff has been very helpful. And I love how they use spices and herbs to cook. I tell my clients that all the time. And for the anti-inflammatory properties in our foods is cooking with herbs and spices and things like that and staying away from salt, especially table salt. So I personally love the Mediterranean diet, and I think you did a great job explaining it. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. And I will say Consumer Reports does an evaluation of all diets every year. And the Mediterranean diet always ranks #1 for easiest diet to follow, #1 for diabetes, #1 just overall enjoyed by people. Like it has 12 categories that it's #1 or #2 in.
Yeah. We've been saying that for years. The Mediterranean diet's the best ones, the best diets to follow. I think it's hard for people who are used to the standard American diet to switch to the Mediterranean diet, but people who do enjoy it so much more because the flavor is so much better, I think, than the standard American diet. You're getting so many more benefits from it.
Yes. Anytime you eat more fruits and vegetables, your body thrives.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Another thing that you talked about, which something I bring up to my clients when they're so used to meat, especially red meat. And I began to say, don't make it the main meal, just be a side dish.
Right.
Instead of having that pound of steak on your plate, just have 1/3 that on the side. If you just would still want to have the taste slowly, if you eventually want to get meats, red meat out of your system or complete meats at all, become vegetarian, yeah, that's so true. And desserts, that's another one where, just if you're craving for something after your meal, have an orange. That in itself versus an ice cream or something, not only you getting the natural sugars, but you're getting some amazing fiber, you're getting some amazing vitamins. So I think it's a matter of knowing where you eat. And back to the question I always ask, are the foods that you eat loving you back? Is your body responding to what you eat? Is it giving you the love back that you deserve? Yeah.
Great.
Anyone else?
I think it was a very encouraging presentation, and I think it's very helpful to when we go shopping, how we look at things.
Right, and I usually tell people you don't have to go from where you are now, A to Z, like taking little baby steps. So if it wants to be start with, I'm going to get rid of sugar in what I drink. Like that's always to me the first place to start. Drink calorie-free beverages. Then maybe it would be I'll start one day a week only having fruit as dessert and keep my routine if I'm used to several times a day. Or one meal a day, I'll do a plant-based meal that isn't meat-centered. So you can start with baby steps that feel attainable to you. Like to me, that's most important, that you're taking a step in the direction that you want to go. It doesn't have to be a whole shift.
Right. Exactly. That's a great point, because something else I want to add to that, you know, you can be Mediterranean a couple days a week, maybe 5 days a week, and be vegetarian on the weekend. You know, it just doesn't have to be that. So always go back to the 80-20 rule, you know, just giving yourself some space in there and some allowances that when you feel like having more vegetables one day and another weekend, and the weekend you want to go for more of whatever, then you don't feel so contained, you know, so rigid and so restricted to having something that eventually affects you, you know, emotional and feelings about, you know, whatever that you did.
Right, and you have to give that leniency, because people who don't stick with their goals or their plan is because it's unrealistic for them, and you have to kind of meet people where they are and make suggestions that they'll actually follow through with, and having them pick what they want to give up and having them make those choices, I think helps empower them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, sorry. Anything else, Joni, you want to add real quick? Our time is running out.
No, I'm good. I appreciate the time and having everybody here.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for the slides that, you know, that was the first time for us. So we're just learning here. I'm learning just how to figure out this whole system here, but we're doing good. We're doing amazing good. So we want to thank you for your time, as always. I know we were going to do a sleep talk on sleep and foods not to eat. Remember back in March? We had a snowstorm, I think it was. I forget what, maybe it was before that, but we weren't able to do so. Maybe eventually we will. But anyway, thank you. So
yes, great information.
Yes. So everyone, our time is finished, and we want to thank you for your time. And we enjoyed our time together, and we're definitely enjoying this topic. So thank you, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.